I hate statistics. Beautiful numbers that can be readily useful in quantifying the fraction of one's heart to allocate to bare emotions let in load. A wholly rational way of comprehending a somewhat irrational emotion. But more than that, to organize and categorize people who lived, into boxes they are far too large to be stuffed into. We think only of the event and not of the people who participated in it, and in many cases presently fail to participate in current daily life. The polished kitchen floor screams dullness up your yellow sundress. As you read the paper and sit back, sipping 6 parts Hindenburg mixed with 2 parts of liquid diamond and 1 part of his breath, you see numbers everywhere yelling back at the barrier between you and the cement below. However, it is not that you forget to cry. It is that the norm is that we must neglect man's individual nature when we consider a contemporary cataclysm. We must think only in terms of quantity and no longer in terms of quality. We toss meaning under the linoleum rug and play a game of hide and seek we are bound to win. However, an absence of genuine grief does not truly count as a win in our continually filling agendas. For example, 2,996 people were killed when 4 planes were hijacked by terrorists, and yet it's the name of these 9 ravaging men that we remember. The lives of over 200,000 people ended on Tuesday, January 12, 2010, when an earthquake wrecked, razed, and ravaged a large fraction of Haiti into what one could only almost call fragments. There are countless disasters whose gravities seem only dependent on the number of graves gouged graciously by the grim gardener, generous always. It is as if the more your heart should ache for those affected by the disaster is proportional to the amount of money made by funeral homes and graveyards that week. This equation also seems to function for various vast volume events, such as genocides and bombings. These numbers, however, do not do any justice for the amount that one deserves to be grieved for. As we grieve for the sum of these people, we are dismissing their individual nature. A man or a woman is far more complex than any number, no matter how large or small. When we integrate over the function that tells us how terrible to feel, we do not take the time to think about each original, particular, peculiar, distinct, singular, novel, idiosyncratic individual who cannot be described simply by a language we have convened. Each person was not only an inherently complex physical being who conducted an innumerable amount of chemical and biological functions. Although the end of the life of any organism can cause sorrow, for this entity will never again experience anything. But they were people! He was a man. She was a woman. He was a child, a brother. She was a wife, a sister. They were children. They were cousins. They had parents and friends. They had names. They had pleasures and peeves and pasts and futures and presents and Christmases or Hanukkahs or Ramadans. They had freedom. They were alive. But not if we integrate over this function. Not if we connect the infinite dots that made up their lives and draw a line, differentiating over a life. That kills them. That makes it as if not every single moment they were alive was significant. Every breath in between every breath, every blink, wink, step, word, thought mattered. But grief cannot be explained by math.